Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online News PTS video, and this is for the PTS patch notes that came out on Wednesday. Well, actually, we're supposed to come out Wednesday the 16th. It came out actually on the 15th, ahead of the patch itself for PTS, but it's basically the 5.2.4, the final patch for the Dragonhold PTS and what is coming with it, and the changes, all the changes. This is going to be the final ones that they make to this before release. So one interesting thing is they put the Witches Festival in this. Here's the funny story. Witches Festival starts next week on live. Don't ask. Don't try and figure it out. I have no idea. They made a few additional combat changes and fixes for Dragonhold Quest. Additionally, we've done a character copy for all PC North American characters. The size of the patch is approximately 258, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you guys also didn't know, last week we went almost the whole week, right? We did go a whole week without any character copies whatsoever, not even European. It was completely blank characters. Like, you had to start fresh characters, test things, that kind of stuff. So last week we had a week and a half of PTS testing. This week we have a half a week of PTS testing, and there isn't really nothing we can do. I mean, any of this stuff that's going through now is actually going live. And there has been a lot of people on the forums saying that this patch shouldn't go live at all. Like, they need to hold off. They need to rework a bunch of stuff. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There is no way they can physically test every change and how it's going to be handled by the player base until it is on the live service. And that's because not enough people from the live service get on the PTS. They leave it for content creators such as myself and everybody else that does content for this game. Now, another question I've been asked before I go any further is, Sherman, why didn't you do a whole lot in this PTS? I did. I just didn't discuss any of my findings or any of that stuff, primarily because I honestly did not see a big deal with the changes that were being made. That's my honest opinion. I do think that the floor and ceiling between the in-game player and the average player is too much, and it always will be, with the way the game's set up now. And it doesn't matter what the devs do. The only way they're going to be able to adjust the values between the average player and the hardcore in-game player is by altering how sets work. That means they need to incorporate perfect and imperfect sets throughout the game, not just in trials, but also in crafted sets, also in zone drop sets, everything. That is the only way that they're going to be able to bring the two, or bridge the two power levels. Because even a lot of people have brought this up, said, oh, well, it's not that much of a power difference. It's only like 1,000 stamina, or it's only like a little bit of crit, or this or that. It is, but it isn't. See, you're taking something that takes the hardcore player to a new level of power. The average player won't see a huge difference from it because it doesn't, like, the difference between bonuses on sets and stuff, and it's the same thing when people were complaining about, oh, well, if somebody's at 810 power, they're stronger than everybody else. They are by percentage values. That's it. Because at 300 CP, you don't get any more stat variance. So from 300 on, it's just percentage variables that change how your character works within the content of the game. With sets, it's stat variables, again, that create this indifference. So when you take that into the indication of how power level works in this game, and then you take sets like, say, somebody's running Reliquin and we'll just say Reliquin and the whatever it is, the Locrin set. And then you compare it to somebody running something like Hunting's Rage and Swamp Raiders. Because you're not going to be using sets that drop in trials until you can earn those sets. Well, you got to use other sets that drop in the rest of the game to get to those sets. And then they said that they want to make it to where players feel like they're progressing their characters through skills and abilities, not just gear. Not just through the, the whole chasing what other people say. Well, they're going to have to. Because you created an indifference by putting two different set types into the game. Perfect and imperfect. So you have regular sets and then you have perfect sets. Those perfect sets are better than the regular sets. And that creates a power indifference in the players. And in the case, and I will be honest, in the case of Reliquin, that is a 5k difference between perfect and imperfect. 5k damage. Think about that. And that's just 1,000 stamina. So, but if you have a bunch of perfect stuff, like 2 perfect sets, that means you're getting more stats. So, alright. So going through the patch notes, Dragonhold, not a whole lot that I really want to discuss because it's mostly quest and gameplay changes. Those things that needed to be fixed because there was a lot of issues with things. So elsewhere, just got some furnishing and general updates. Murkmire got a lot of Black Rose Prison changes. And honestly, I think a lot of this needed to be done. So again, combat and gameplay changes. They fixed numerous issues where passives pertaining to sprint speed or cost would not update properly when meeting or failing their conditions without relogging or rezoning. Okay. Fixed an issue where you could retain the initial boost of sprint granted from activating sprint. And a lot of this stuff is just bug stuff. So, fixed an issue where you could sprint as a ghost after resurrecting with a soul gem under the specific circumstances. Fixed an issue where damage types, status effects could change or caused to targets would fail to apply if they had a damage shield active. Alright. Dragonite Changes, Ardent Flame, Searing Strikes, Venomous Claw. Increase the Rampage bonus damage per tick of this morph to 20%, up from 12. And these are the other tiers at which it climbs now. Instead of 9, 10, 11, and 12, it goes 17, 18, 19, and 20%. This might make Searing Strike or Venomous Claw a little bit better. Earth and Heart Stone Fist, they updated the visual effects for this ability in Stone Giant Morph. As noted in last week's PTS patch, we will continue working on this ability's visuals and gameplay elements for future updates. So, remember guys, I said this, 90% of most of the changes going in are going to happen. They're going to make minor adjustments to things, but the changes are happening. Teleport Strike. Updated the duration of the moon. A minor vulnerability from this ability to 10 seconds to match the morph's duration. Known issues. The ambush ability is currently still displaying an 8 second and will be fixed in a future patch. That means this will be fixed at the launch of this. Next Monday. When this goes live. Sorry about the coughing. I don't know if it's allergies or I'm getting a head cold, to be honest. Grim Focus. Increase the duration of this ability in Smarts to 40 seconds, up from 20 seconds. Remove the minimum travel time of the bow proc from these abilities since they are slower than other projectiles such as Crystal Fragments or Snipe. Relentless Focus. Morph. This morph now lasts 60 seconds at rank 4 instead of 30 seconds. Shadow, Path of Darkness, Twisting Path. This morph once again uses the same scaling coefficient as the other morphs. Refreshing Path. This will result in approximately 132% damage increase from the previous PTS patch. That is a massive increase. Alright, Daedric Summoning, Daedric Curse, Daedric Prey. Reduce the damage bonus by 20% down from 40. Who would have figured? Bound Armaments updated the sound effects to summoning bound daggers with this ability. Itemization and item sets fixed. An issue where poisons could not be consumed under circumstances despite properly activating on a target, and fixed an issue where poison's secondary and tertiary traits would fail to apply if procced from a ranged attack. Sentinel of Rakuzma. Or Rakugu, whatever it is. I'm giving this a minute to set in for me because this is one that I knew once I read it I was going to be frustrated with it. Because this is probably the most... It's a good change, but it's probably a stupid change at the same time because of the amount. Reduce the amount of stamina restored from this set to 115 per second, down from 500. This set now also returns Magicka per tick. So it does Magicka and stamina at 115 a tick. Lasts for 8 seconds, so you get roughly around a 900 increase of stats in 9 seconds. Works great if you're a Warden, or if you're a Nightblade. But if you're anything else using this set, or I take that back, or even a Templar using your resistance buff that gives you magic or stamina, like, it works really great with that. Everything else, every other class, it's useless. DKs won't even care about 115 a second, because it's really not that much. And if you incorporate how much they get back from a potion every, like after activating and getting their recovery rates, unless you build for recovery, this set is garbage. But since people now are going to have to build a little bit into recovery to help sustain, this actually might be pretty good for some group dynamics. But we'll have to wait and see, get some testing done. I still use this set on my healer because I like it. Alright, base game improvements, gameplay stuff, just some minor fixes and things like that. Miscellaneous, added 30 seconds wait time between logins. This is a weird one too, because if you're if you get dumped from a dungeon and you gotta wait 30 seconds to log back in, there's a good chance you're gonna get kicked from the group. So this just made it even more, yeah, you're getting kicked from the group. New Life Festival, they fixed an issue where quest assist would sometimes point you towards doors that didn't exist in Stormhaven, Eastmarch, and Alakir Desert. Fixed some gamepad mode stuff. Touchpad will now open the map when using a PS4 controller on a Mac game client. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know you could use a PS4 controller on a Mac. That's cool, though. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the patch notes. This is the final patch of Dragonhold before it goes live on the 21st, which is next Monday, by the way, guys. So anyone who's expecting any more major changes, not going to happen. Those of you who are wanting to see different changes, like major changes, not going to happen. What you are going to see is what's going live. So, do I feel like a lot of these changes were overkill? Yes and no. Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. I do feel like the dots did need to be nerfed because they were too powerful. They need to be brought down. They did cut them by a little too much. They upgraded a lot of them to kind of fit that indifference. Yes, some are still underperforming over others, but if they make them to where they overperform over other abilities, then there's no reason to use anything else. And this is what the devs keep talking about. They don't want you using a whole bar of spammable, like the constant upkeep of dots. They want you to use some dots, some spammables, some other abilities, and things like that. So you have a diverse character, not a character that's locked into a specific. And this is where they're trying to, and I don't want to say break the meta, but they are trying to disrupt the meta to create a new way for people to play that's more reliable, and there's more options. But again, when you talk about the difference between in-game players and the average casual player, or even beginner players are nowhere near the power level of an in-game player, and never will be until they reach that level. And then once they reach that level, they still have to get all the stuff that's going to benefit them for that play style. They're going to need gear, they're going to need skill points, they're going to need levels, they're going to need CP, and they're going to need to be maxed out to a certain degree. At least 300 CP, I would say, to do the trials themselves. Not at just normal mode, but at veteran mode. So if you're at 300 CP, veteran mode should still be doable at 300 or above. But normal mode doesn't require that. So, but yeah, I am excited for this update because I have played the Dragonhold on PTS. I've played a lot of the content. I really like it. I do admit I don't know how I feel about it not having any kind of in-game kind of content for people, like no trial, no arena, nothing like that. Kind of, it's just a content DLC, and I've said this before. They need to do this. They need to do just a content DLC once in a while, because when you incorporate a lot of different content, I mean, you got to think, we get 4 dungeons a year. It doesn't take long to get accustomed to the dungeons, and then 1 trial a year. That would be better than having 4 dungeons and a trial, and then an arena or another trial in the next update, because yes, it gives the in-game players something to strive for, but this also gives the in-game players something else to do than trying to maximize their characters for the next release, the next content. Now it gives them time to work towards the next raid on and allowing other people to get caught up as well. So this is a nice change of pace. And I will say this, there are things in Dragonhold which are, they're not raid. It's not a raid, it's not in-game, but I will say the dragons are a lot tougher in the Overland. When it comes to even soloing, yeah, they are a lot tougher. The story in the new Dragonhold is amazing, and it deserves what they put into it. A lot of really good story. And the fact that this is the end of the season and how they end it off, there are no words. There are none. This is the finale that a lot of us want for this season, and I think that this is really good. I do think that they should have made the bonus mission from completing Elsewhere and Dragonhold have a group aspect to it. Like, hey, we're gonna send you in here in a story version, and then we're gonna make it repeatable, or make it a repeatable quest that you can do, like daily thing or something that you can do that ramps in difficulty. You know, up to a 6-man team or something. That would be awesome. But it does kind of affect certain things within the story and the principles of things that happen. So it's kind of like, it's like really on that parapet, you know, on that precipice of balance there, and so I can't say any more than that because I don't want to reveal any secrets to the story. It's just that good. So but yeah, I mean, I like Dragonhold because it's just a casual gameplay experience. You just play through the story, you play through the content, and then you have this really challenging group content, which are the dragons in the overland. Then you have the delves, which aren't too difficult or hard. Then you have all the other stuff, like doing the stuff to unlock the final crafting station in the Dragonhold, or the Dragon Guards place. So that's kind of a thing. And then you have, you know, there is a lot. And then there's the 3 crafted sets, and all 3 crafted sets are good. Like, really good. The drop sets, they're not bad. I mean, in my preference to play, they're not bad. There's actually some of them are going to be good, some are going to be bad in the way I play. But that's just my personal opinion. To some people, the sets could be really good that I think are bad, and vice versa. So I'm not going to go into comparison there until next week when I do the final patch notes, or release patch notes, and we discuss everything that's coming with Dragonhold. So until next week, guys, that's it for this week's videos on ESO. I was going to do some other videos where they talk that they've posted some news on the website about, but honestly, it's nothing really big. It has to do with Dragonhold and its release, and meeting Sai Sahan. There's been a few other things in there that we had an event this last month for that you could earn this special treasure trove that it gave you like 8 chests. It was ridiculous, and it rewarded you with so much stuff. It wasn't even funny. So, but it's still really good. I really liked it. I had some fun messing with it. I haven't played a whole lot, I'm not gonna lie, of this last month, and that's because I have been playing a lot of Destiny 2. And then I did get asked, are you done with Elder Scrolls? No, guys, I'm not done with this game. In between content releases, I do get burnout, and I go play other games. Because I get to a point where I feel like I have nothing to do except work on other characters, and playing those characters through content I've already experienced multiple times is not like my most exciting thing I want to do. So and since I don't focus into end game like raiding or trials, I do a lot of dungeons. I do a lot of, like, when I do play, I play a lot of dungeons, I play a lot of overland, I play a lot of mixed content, but I'm a progressive player. I like to progress my characters through the story. I like to experience that stuff. I like to unlock all the skill points and challenges for my characters, so I have access to them. But, yeah. But that's pretty much it. That's what's going on, guys. Expect a lot to come out from me starting next week on Monday. After the patch notes, I do plan on releasing starting next week, builds. And I am going to be releasing tanks, healers, damage dealers, and hybrids. And those hybrids can be tanks, they can be healers, they can be damage dealers. So I will have hybrids thrown throughout along with the regular builds, but it will be tank, healer, and damage dealer, and that's pretty much it. And I'm going to do one for each class, and that's what I'm going to release for this update, is one for each class. So 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 damage dealer. And then I'm going to release a lot of solo builds, because I feel like that's something that I can do, because I know a lot about solo play in the overland, and solo playing in dungeons, and solo playing against world bosses, even dragons. But I'm going to be doing a lot of that stuff, and I will be doing some guides as well on how to solo the dragons, and the best way to solo them with builds. So, like, the best kind of build to use for it. And even, like, 2-manning them or 3-manning them, showing you how you can do that with these same builds, with these same solo-type builds, because it just makes it easier the more people you have there, so. But yeah, that's what I got going on, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, greatly appreciate a like. I usually don't ask for likes or for subscribers, but I'm getting a little bit bigger in my channel, and I figured it's time to kind of shift things around. But As always, guys, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.